morning, y'all. We are back in the gym and it is time for Delts. I tell you what, yesterday's workout was friggin' tough, but I feel okay. I had a good night's sleep and I feel ready and pumped for this bad boy. Now the workout is going to be relatively quick because I do have to catch a flight, so I'm going to do supersets. So I'm going to start off with shoulder press here on the machine to get the compound movement done out the way, so I can really get that testosterone release and natural growth hormone release. And then I'm going to superset that with an isolation exercise. Because I'm really targeting the anterior head with this movement, I'm then going to obliterate the anterior head by isolating it by doing a front raise with a plate, with a barbell plate. So I make sure that I go completely overhead when I'm doing that exercise. When I'm doing this exercise, I don't lock out at the top, maybe on the last couple of reps. But until then, I'm trying to keep the deltoids engaged the entire time. I'm not disengaging them by locking out at the top, and I want to keep the stress from my elbows. So that's a reasoning behind it as well. And yeah, just keeping it intense today because, like I said, I got to catch a flight. But I also want to make sure that I get a good workout as well. You know, delts is a muscle group that you can never have overdeveloped, I don't think. So I want to do everything that I can to be definitely somebody with a pair of shoulders that I can be proud of, because I always had very, very weak shoulders, and it was a muscle group that I found extremely hard to bring up. It was definitely a lagging group for many, many years. But ever since that I've done a lot of intensity, a lot of volume, they've grown. So it's helped me get the mind-muscle connection better. So when I do go heavier, I'm not just swinging a weight and not feeling anything. I actually feel the muscle tissue being broken down. I get a good pump. So that's all I'm focusing on now, is getting a real good pump by keeping the volume and intensity. So let's get into this bad boy. Again, another good session. I don't think I've had a bad session yet. There's no way that I can walk out of the gym and go, that wasn't very good. I could have pushed it a little bit harder. In all honesty, I wasn't even trying to go for heavy weight today. As I was warming up, I felt a real good mind-muscle connection. I felt I was getting a massive pump like almost immediately. So I thought, you know what, I'm not gonna go for any PBs. I'm just gonna go with the intensity and the volume. And like going from the rear delts, for instance, with a pec deck straight into the side raises, man, had a massive pump in my side delts, like on the third rep. The third rep was extremely painful. So just to get to the 12th rep was excruciating, but it's awesome. It felt really, really good because I was only doing side raises with 30 pounds. And it goes to show that, you know, it isn't really the amount of weight that's written on the dumbbell that counts. It's the amount of intensity and the mind-muscle connection and the pump and the volume and the intensity that you're focusing on with that individual muscle group is all that counts, you know. And a lot of people, they'll go through the movements, they'll just lug around heavy weights, not really understanding or focusing on what they're doing. Yeah, sometimes my form may look a little bit sloppy. I call it controlled cheating. But the difference between the way that I train and the way I would train someone else is that I feel the mind-muscle connection. When I train a little bit ballistic, when I'm training a little bit looser, I still get a great mind-muscle connection, and I actually find it better for me than actually being super strict. When I go super strict, I don't feel it as much on the muscle. I feel it more on the joints and the tendons, and I just don't get it as much. However, I'm not going to train people like that. I certainly didn't start out that way. It was something that I kind of have journeyed towards over the 20 years that I've been training. You know, it's just instinctively you adapt to what works for you, and it's taken me 20 years, you know, to keep instinctively adapting, and that's what you got to find that works for you. Don't think that you see me training in these videos and you got to do the exact same thing. Do what works for you, man. I'm just giving you a guide of what's worked for me over the years and continues to allow me to evolve, and that's what it's all about. Anyway, I'm gonna have to cut this short because I gotta get to a flight. So I've got all my food packed. I've got all my nutrition solutions meals packed. I got my protein packets. I've got my HydroCharge. I got everything packed. So I'm ready to roll. All I've got to do is just wash up this sweaty physique and I'm good to go. So I will see you back in the gym, and I'll see you outside of the gym. I'll film some stuff for you. Peace.